Good morning. This is a garden update on my sugar cane, which is growing quite well right now. I want to grow sugar cane not because I'm going to grow a lot of it, just growing this one pot of it because I believe that all children should be exposed to the pleasure of eating sugar cane from a real cane. I think it's something that's been lost in history. I remember as a child back in the 60s, somebody would always bring us by sugar cane either during the summer or the early fall, and we get a big old stick of sugar cane. My mom would peel it for my grandmother and cut it into quarters, and we'd sit there and we just chew on the sugar cane and chew all the juices out until nothing but the pulp was left, and we'd spit it out. But today kids don't have that pleasure, and most of them probably don't know a whole lot about sugar cane. Sugar cane was once the cash crop in South Louisiana, and it was particularly big during slavery and during the Reconstruction, because during slavery, of course, blacks did a lot of sugar cane chopping, and then after slavery, it was blacks and poor whites who were still doing the same thing. North Louisiana, the crop was not sugar cane. Up there, the crop was king cotton. Cotton was the crop. It was a surprise to me because I thought that cotton grew everywhere, but when my wife first came from South Louisiana and paid me a visit in North Louisiana, she saw the cotton fields and didn't know what the cotton was. Now, I've never had the pleasure or displeasure of picking cotton or chopping sugar cane, and the only sugar cane I plan to chop is what you see here in this bucket right here. My mom told me that she chopped cotton. Well, she picked cotton one day as a child, and she may have lasted a half a day before she realized that that wasn't the work that was meant for her. Another last time doing it. I'm sure my grandmother, my mother's mother, probably picked cotton, but it's something that she never talked about. Now back to these particular plants. I planted 3 horizontally. I planted 3 of them vertically, straight up, and I planted 2 of them horizontally, straight down in the ground. And it appears that the 3 ones that I planted vertically, as you can see, they're all doing well. They've got new growth on them, and I expect they'll do extremely well. Now, one of the ones right here, these 3, came from one piece of sugar cane that I planted horizontally, so that one's good. But over here, somewhere is another one that isn't doing a single thing. But all in all, the sugar cane looks pretty good. Now my blackberries are still here, and I tried to taste one the other day, and they aren't ripe yet, but they look good. And I got 3 plants. There's one plant right there, there's another plant right there, and then there's a 3rd plant. So they're doing pretty good, which is a good thing. My onions, they're starting to, the tops are starting to get brown, so I'm thinking that they're probably starting to get to the point where I can pull them. I think they have to be completely brown. I'm not sure. Going to do some research on it and find out whether or not that's true or not. If so, then once they get completely brown, I'll pull those out, and I should have some nice sized onions. The onions I decided to plant on the last minute one day. I was in the store and I saw the onion. So I'm selling a little onion plants. I said, well, I'll try to buy them because about 50, 60 of them for about $2. So I bought some. Tomatoes are doing fabulous. See if I can show you this right here. If I can get the camera there. There's one tomato right there on this plant, and there are more tomatoes all over the garden. There's one on this plant right here, and on this plant right here there are about 3 tomatoes. Then over there's 1 big tomato, and basically I got tomatoes growing in every bed of tomatoes that I have. And I saw one in this garden right here somewhere. I can't, there it is right there at the bottom. That's a particularly big one. And they're all fruiting. This bed right here are all determinate tomatoes. That means they're going to grow a certain size, the plants, and then they'll produce one time, and that's it. And this one has about 3 tomatoes on it. So tomatoes are going really good. Also, blackberries going good. As you can see, they start off green. They then turn to a nice red color. And then this one right here is getting towards the final stage, I think, which is starting to turn black. And there's a big one too. So I'm doing pretty good with the blackberries. The cucumbers are growing good. They got some signs of fungus, so I'm gonna have to get a spray and spray them down, so they'll be okay. This is the zucchini and eggplant. Has the same problem as the not zucchini and eggplant, zucchini and squash. It has the same problem as the cucumbers do. Some fungus problems, but they should be relatively easy to solve. And then eggplant is doing well. Something has been eating the leaves, and I sprayed them, but I don't know if it did much good. But they're still surviving. They're getting bigger, so I don't expect any major problems with them. And that's the Louisiana eggplant. At first I thought it wasn't going to take, but it's doing pretty good. My tree collards are getting bigger by the day. They are getting really prolific. Now I got to figure out, how do you cook these things? Do you cook them? Do you eat them raw? There's something you can do either way, like spinach. The mustard, it just grows prolifically. This is from one plant. I've eaten off this thing several times. Still have mustard left in the fridge. I haven't eaten, so, but it's good. I'm gonna probably make a salad today because the salad stuff in the garden is growing so good. You can see this is some of the padded, so you can see everything. And this one has several different types of lettuce in it, and I don't even know what's all I have in here. I have a couple of bean plants in here, and also I got a tomato I stuck in here because I just didn't have another place to put it. And this lettuce is also looking good. So I think I can easily make a salad. And this one is looking very good also. And I'm kind of surprised because it seemed to me at first that the salad was growing kind of slow and it wasn't doing anything. But it's doing something now. And this bed is doing pretty good right here also. This bed over here, not quite so well. And I planted these with the those little seed tapes, and I wasn't particularly impressed with the seed tape. I also got a couple of Japanese eggplants in here. That's one right there. See, what kind is this right here? This is this is the white eggplant right here. Never grew that before. And this one right here is the Ichiban style Japanese eggplant. And I put a couple of some tomatoes in here too. 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're growing. I don't know, maybe the soil is full of something, because nothing is growing particularly well in this particular garden right here. And the tomatoes are a lot bigger in the other places. And these are tomato plants I just planted less than a week ago, and they're growing good. They're Eritrean tomatoes from Eritrea, which is in the northeastern part of the country, northeastern part of Africa, located right adjacent to Somalia. I think there used to be one country at one time, but Eritrea is his own country now. So anyway, these are Eritrean tomatoes, and according to the guy I bought them from, these are supposed to be some very tasty tomatoes. So I'm gonna pull off this stem right here, get close to the bottom, and I don't like that rust on it, but they're looking healthy. Corn, wow, this is the gem corn. It's gonna be multicolored corn. It's going pretty good, not a problem with it. And this right here is the kind of a red corn, has red kernels, are supposed to, and it's growing, but not nearly as fast as the gem corn is, so I may have to do something to it. I also took some of my longevity spinach that I had in the cups, and I planted in different places around the garden. This I planted two plants of it in the bed with my lemon tree, which is hanging on, but not really showing much promise. It got buds on it and everything, and I may need to try to fertilize it again. I've fertilized it a couple of times already, but it's not taking, I don't guess. Peppers, no peppers yet. Well, there are some, the buds of peppers or what, but they're showing promise also. So, and they're doing good. That one is doing particularly well right there. Nice and bushy. I don't know what I did to it, if anything, to make it that way. And those are the two latest ones I planted, and everything is doing okay. So, and my lemon tree over there is still a stick. But all in all, oh yeah, one last thing. Carrots. I've been debating whether to thin them out or not, but I don't want to end up throwing away good carrots. I've seen them done both ways. They aren't growing particularly fast, except for this one big mound in the middle, which is growing pretty big. My daughter had picked one on the other day because I told her they weren't ready, but she didn't believe me, so she picked them herself, and she found out that they weren't ready. And here is my neighbor, little Rottweiler they got. And maybe it's me, but I'm thinking I'm supposed to be friends with a Rottweiler that's next door rather than his enemy, her enemy rather. So anyway, I bring out these biscuits and give it to her, and she's gonna get her biscuit, and then she runs along and she eats it. And that's the third one she's had this morning from me, and she's gone. Dill, all the herbs and stuff, doing good. So, onion. I used some of these herbs for a roasted chicken yesterday. I used the onions with the roasted chicken. I used the rosemary. I used a little bit of Greek oregano. I definitely used the parsley with it. And I got some chives down there, and I used the chives with it. And they seasoned the chicken up real nicely. Oh, here's a blackberry that looks like it's almost done. Yeah, it's gonna be a race between me and the squirrels as to who gets this blackberry. So I'm gonna check on it again this evening and check on it again tomorrow morning, and hopefully I can beat them to the blackberry. So I got at least 2 blackberries that I got my eye on that I want to eat. Anyway, that's enough of the garden for today. And just pan it one more time so you can get an idea of what I got here. And I will talk to you another time. Bye.